Hi, everybody. Welcome to my very first live stream on YouTube. My name is Andrea Edwards. I am a licensed insurance producer, life and health, specializing in financial education since August 2022. I got into this as a direct result of my own experience with being financially illiterate. Although I didn't suffer from or I didn't have any problems with earning money, um, I did have problems with keeping it. I didn't know how. I didn't know how to manage it. And the pandemic showed me that I wasn't even aware that I had the problem. Like many of you may be thinking, how can you not know when you don't have problems? Well, until you're faced with a situation where you realize that you should have what you don't have, and at one time you had it, and for no good reason that you can think of, you cannot figure out where it went. Like, where did all that money go that I was once making? Where did it go? 3 months later, why I don't have any? 4 months later, where is it? Um, it's a telltale sign. It's not very good. It's not fun. But it shows you who you are. So as a result of that, I am now teaching financial literacy. It's one of my passions, just one of my passions, but I would say topped in the top three of my passions. Teaching financial literacy, very very important for everybody, and especially based on the topic we're going to talk about today. Our first topic I've chosen um, for my ongoing series here is will I ever be able to retire? And this is an article that I'm at that age now. I do receive the AARP magazine, so I'm reading straight from the issue that I received yesterday. I think I received this issue, and I actually read them, and I find good things in there for me, someone of seasoned age. And so the reason I'm reading this straight from the article, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I am going to do most of it. But the reason I've chosen to do this is because I don't want this story to come from me. Because yes, I sell life insurance, and yes, I am a financial educator, and I help you to implement, those things that we go over as my client. We go over things and we determine what's needed, where the holes are, where the gaps are. Um, I do all of that, but I don't do this, what I'm doing now. I don't do this to try to persuade anyone to do anything, to buy anything from me, to sit in front of me or anything. But I do it to help you to be aware, because it's not a good feeling. I've had that feeling, and it's a feeling of hopelessness. When Especially when you feel like it's something that you could have prevented. Granted, um, I'm not really responsible for what I wasn't taught in schools that I was made to go to, um, which is public school. And we send the children there every day. They We don't choose the curriculum. Our parents do not choose the curriculum. And to this day, what I teach is not in middle schools. It's not in high schools. It may be in universities if that certain path is chosen by the person. But I surmise that it should be in every um, every household. Enough talking. Let me read to you. Will I ever be able to retire? And the subheading is many Gen X women worry that they'll never save enough. So you have Gen X women out here, um, those born mm, I'll put it in the comments when I figure out what Gen X is. But I think Gen X is born 19, I hate to say it, but I think like up until 1964 or 65. And before in that mm, let's not let's not worry too much on that. But this woman, this particular person, and it doesn't say that she's not a real person. Her name is Tracy Soriano. She is 54. So women, let's just to make it easy, Gen Xers are people that are nearing retirement. So really that's after 64 and 65. So I'm a Gen Xer then. Um 54 to 65. Looking at retirement, it's smacking us dead in the face, and we have no means of doing so. So Tracy Soriano used to avoid looking at her retirement account balances. The owner of a massage therapy practice in Bellingham, Washington, Soriano says she was afraid of what she might learn. I really struggled, she recalls. My fear of not having enough made me not want to see what I had. How many of you feel that way? How many of you avoid? It's like if we close our eyes, what's happening outside does not affect us because we can't see it. That's what, in effect, she was doing. She said she was a single mother. She teaches massage at a community college, but she finally confronted the situation after a snafu with her Social Security account inspired her to track down her balances and monitor them. It's a common anxiety for Gen X women. Only 27% of women ages 50 to 64, there we have it, 50 to 64. That's a Gen Xers. um, I am in it. Are confident they'll have enough money to live comfortably in retirement, according to a 2022 AARP survey. And they're part of the first generation to come of age after the shift from pensions to 401ks. Only 14% of Gen Xers have access to a defined benefit pension, and many women have seen their retirement savings lag behind those of their male peers. On average, Gen X men have, get this, 53% more. 53% more. That's huge. On average, they have 53% more in their 401ks than Gen X women do, according to a 2023 report by Bank of America. Women get behind for many reasons, says Louis Barajas, CEO of International Private Wealth Advisors in Irvine, California. Challenges include career interruptions to care for children and elders, the gender pay gap, divorce, solo parenting. Career interruptions also mean they weren't participating in Social Security. So sometimes they're behind on that as well. So arriving in your 50s with fears your retirement isn't secure can feel overwhelming, but financial experts say it's not too late. You still have time to save. In fact, creating a savings plan reduces stress. And here's what financial pros recommend. They recommend that you bite the bullet. In other words, face your fears. Don't close your eyes. Don't turn your back. Open those envelopes. Don't put them in a drawer. Andrea, first, face them and look at what you have. Sometimes people assume they haven't saved enough, but they find they just need a realistic retirement plan. Context is important for planning, like knowing when and where you might retire and when you'll claim Social Security. Second, it says to get educated. Guidance could come from a financial planner. Wow. I know I'm not selling, but I do want you to know the caveat to that. If you go to a financial planner um, with a certain amount of money, in a certain popular brand names. If you do not go to them with $250,000 portfolio or more, they won't see you because they're out for the big bucks. Sorry. I will see you. I will see you. If you make minimum wage, we can work with that. And I'm not taking a percentage of your money either. Just a side note. Um, Guidance comes from a financial planner, podcast friend, book, or community resource. And there are plenty of resources too. I mean, um, it's easy to get with me. I'm virtual. You can do a Zoom. I'm here in Maryland. You can find me. But not everybody is comfortable doing that. But please, 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 and please again, look up. Go to your library. I mean, Google is everywhere. And make sure that you are getting your information from reputable sources, not just something you find online and say, "Ooh, that's the truth," because that's what you want to believe. Make sure it's from a reputable source. Do take baby steps. That's the next step. Take baby steps. Budget to find chunks of discretionary income or even small amounts to devote paying down high interest debt. We give you a financial planner, um, an analysis, and we show you where your money is going, where you don't have to look for these chunks. We find it for you. You're right there with us. And then ask for more. Consider asking for a raise at work. If you're not eligible for a raise, find out what it requires, so you're prepared when an opportunity does arrive. And and that's what this article says. Now, of course, I came with another article, which is a book that you can get for free. And it's called How Money Works for Women. Take control or lose it. This book talks about all of everything I just read and more, but it doesn't just talk about it, and it doesn't just give you um, sort of general ideas. It breaks it down for you. This book even has in it, guys, I'm telling you, it's written using cartoon characters that were developed for this is the second in a series. In the first series, it started out with cartoon characters, and it was written on a fifth grade level called "How Money Works: Stop Being a Sucker." That's available on Amazon for like between $18 and $20. You sit with any of the financial planners in my company, on my team. You get a book like that just for attending a session and getting financially educated, and there are no commitments. You can with me, you can get How Money Works for Women. You can get the How Money Works: Stop Being a Sucker that I should have had with me right here, but I have it on hand. And then oh, I'm ordering the new book. They're on their way, and they are called For the Next Generation. So younger than, what was that age, y'all? 54 to 60. See how fast I forget. That's my age. That's my age. 50 to 60, 49 and younger, like between 49 to I'm guessing 20, 49 to 29 or something like that. That's the next generation. And there's an entire book written just for that generation, like for 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 that age, Gen Xers. So, but this one is for women of all ages and at all phases in their lives. So, as I was saying, this book, what I like about it, it includes um, some points in here where you may be able to relate to. And it even tells you, once you start getting on your trajectory of a better course with your finances, it tells you how you'll feel after that. For example, and I'm going to go with a young woman. Oh, one of our characters, her name is Zoe. Zoe's problem in the book, this is Zoe, y'all. Zoe's problem in the book, because she's only 19, she's a university student. So she's worried about her student loans and stuff, right? And so the book dives into, she can't decide between getting which degree she wants to get, how much to borrow, her debt management, um, it dives into a lot of things, how to pay, how to start paying off her loans and everything. But what I like about it, it says it has in each chapter, after it's taught you, it says how women who've lost control feel. It talks about something that's major to us, and that's how we feel. We have to feel a certain way to be a certain way as women. Um, it says how women who've lost control feel. It says the loan amount, interest rate, and repayment terms don't really matter now. Everyone seems to be getting as much loan money as they can. Maybe my employer or the government will help pay for the loans. I'll worry about paying my student loans after I graduate. If you're thinking in those lines, you're lost control. If you ever were in control, we need to be worried about those things. How women who have taken control feel. We want to take control, ladies. I plan to do my due diligence on student loan options first. I want to borrow no more than I need on the best terms I can find so I can repay the loans ASAP after graduation. This will give me more options in the future and I will be more in control of my money. After every chapter there's a lesson, and then it's a way to gauge, if you lost control somewhere in the middle, that they all look like this. Fatima, this one is on Fatima. I'll read one more. And Fatima, how old is Fatima? Fatima is 73. But this one actually, what I just showed you is not about Fatima. It's for what's her name? Hope, I think. Hold on. It's for Hope. And Hope is a 62-year-old nurse, right? She's still nursing. She says, as a nurse, I teach people about the benefits of preventative care. You pay more later by not taking care of yourself now. And she says, I'm learning it's the same thing with your money. And it's so true. Hope has a divorce checklist in here. For any of you guys who are going through divorce, there's a checklist in here about getting your finances together. You know, um, that's important. When you find yourself in that unfortunate situation, you need some guidance on it. This book even has that. How women who've lost control feel. She said, I was totally blindsided by the divorce and I don't feel up to fighting because I'm not even sure what my rights are. It's just too hard. I don't know if I'll ever be able to recover. That's how she felt. But Hope, she's taking control. The divorce was a surprise, but I can get through it without being financially devastated. I put together a great team of professionals who will advocate for my rights to help make sure there will be enough money for my financial future. I plan to claim Social Security benefits when I reach full retirement age and will use the time until then to save even more for retirement. Hope has it all together. You can too. Guys, thank you for attending my first YouTube live. I hope I didn't bore you. I hope I gave you something to think about. I hope I gave you some value. When you like, follow, and comment below, when you like, follow, and comment below, you'll need to leave me um you'll you'll need to send me, because I'll put my email address up here because I don't want you to put your information public, but I'll put mine. Um, you'll need to send me something saying I saw your first live, or something like that, and I will send you this book. I can mail you a copy of this book, so that means I'm going to have to get some information from you, but I'll get that in an email. Okay? Thanks for watching.